Walking in this parking lot is 20-year-old Jesse Onfray, known as rapper XXXTentacion. He is successful, rich, and respected, and right now he's on his way to enjoy another day shopping, unaware that he is being followed. Because close behind are these three goons who are out for Jesse's life as this simple store visit comes to a devastating end.
The rapper XXXTentacion has been shot, apparently.
This happened, like I said, in broad daylight. He was sitting in when he was shot.
What would ensue in the months following this footage would be a relentless hunt for Jesse's murderers and the truth for what really happened that day.
Did you read about the rapper who got killed up at Riva Motorsports? I can't even pronounce his name. They call him XXX?
Yeah. You're the bad guy in all this.
What happened up there probably wasn't a plan, just a bunch of guys that ain't very good at what they're doing.
Jesse Onfray grew up in Lauderhill, Florida, and was mostly raised by his grandmother due to absent parents. And by 20, he was XXXTentacion, one of the most famous and controversial young rappers in the world, with a #1 album on the way and a son on the way that he would never get to meet. But on the afternoon of June 18th, 2018, everything would change. He had just stopped by a bank with his step-uncle to withdraw $50,000 as he headed to a dealership called Riva Motorsports to spend it on bikes and a boat. But during this time, he had no idea that a dark SUV had been quietly following him the whole way. There were 4 men inside it, and 2 of them were going to follow him into the store. They walked right past him while he browsed, close enough to reach out and touch him. Then they stopped at the counter and bought 2 masks. After exiting, the men pulled the SUV across the street, out of the camera's reach, and waited for him for a couple of minutes. Then Jesse walked out, got back into his BMW, and the SUV cut straight across his only exit and trapped him. Soon, 2 masked men jumped out of the SUV with guns that were pointed at Jesse's vehicle. The men punched Jesse, screamed at him, and grabbed the chain on his neck. In the chaos, Jesse's uncle shoved open the passenger door and ran in a panic. Unfortunately, this turned out to be the worst thing he could have done, as it left the door wide open. One of the gunmen reached straight in and grabbed the bag with the $50,000 inside. Now they had the money and could have left right then and there. But before he left, one of the masked men stepped back, looked Jesse in the eyes, and emptied his .22 caliber pistol into him. By 4:51 that afternoon, Jesse, a promising young artist with a child 7 months away from being born, was dead in a parking lot. For all of their planning, these men left a trail even a blind man could follow. After the murder, police pulled the surveillance from Riva and the businesses around it, and soon they realized that the group had practically handed them a gift. 2 of the men had walked into the store barefaced to buy their masks, which gave detectives clean shots of their faces on CCTV cameras. And the list of dumb mistakes kept growing until it didn't take long to put a name to everyone in that SUV. Within days, 4 men were under arrest, and police had worked out who did what. Dedrick Williams, better known as Chucky, was the planner. Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom were the 2 gunmen, and Robert Allen was the designated driver. From the footage alone, investigators already knew Michael was the one who pulled the trigger, and they could have walked straight in and started with him, but they didn't. The plan was to leave the shooter for the very end and break his 3 accomplices first, so that by the time they finally sat across from Michael, they wouldn't need a single word out of him. The detectives start with Chucky. He's a father of 4, a tattoo artist, and already on probation for Grand Theft Auto. And 2 days after the murder, he walks into the interrogation room convinced he can talk his way out of it.
You know, I've been working the streets for 38 going on 39 years, so I heard everything.
Right.
I mean, I've literally heard everything.
Right.
Here's the problem with your story. And I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to make you feel like I'm here to hurt you. I'm here to find out what happened and the truth, and so we can deal with the truth.
Right.
Riva, let's talk about some of those motorcycles in there. Expensive, ain't they? $20,000, $30,000?
No.
Well, what do you think those spiders and those cams and everything?
I ain't know those was considered motorcycles.
Well, whatever. I mean, there's a lot. What I'm trying to get is there's a lot of shit there that's worth a lot of money, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when you got a lot of money, like you're going to open a business.
Right.
What's the first thing you do when you own a business to protect your business and all that expensive property you have?
Your security.
Yeah. What kind of security would you get?
Armed.
Okay, above armed security, what else would you get?
Alarm system.
Cameras all over the place.
Cameras, yeah.
40 of them. 40 of them. So as me and you sit here and talk, I kind of know everything that happened because I've seen it.
Right.
So when I say to you, I don't mean you any harm, I don't really mean you any harm, and I don't want to sit here and say you're a liar because you're scared. And I understand that.
Right.
But I can see everything that happened. They got cameras everywhere. You can't move on that property inside or outside without being without a camera. You can't come up Dixie Highway without one of those cameras picking you up. You can't go on that back road without those cameras picking you up. You can't sit in the parking lots on the other side of the street from the parking lot without those cameras picking you up. They got cameras everywhere because they got millions of motorcycles up there. Right. So they're going to protect their shit. Right. So what I want you to do is understand that. And I don't want you to get to the point where you protect people who got you involved in shit.
Of course, Chucky came in with his story polished to perfection. According to him, he was at the motorcycle shop to grab parts for his dirt bike. That mask he bought from that shop while Jose was browsing was nothing. It was just a skeleton mask. But that skeleton mask is a neoprene face mask, the same kind that is covering one of the shooters in the footage sometime later. And the thing is, Chucky already did half the detective's job for him even if he continues to evade. On that same footage, he's seen wearing a pair of bright orange sandals, the exact same ones he'd posted to his own Instagram under the handle Tattoo Man Chucky. That's how police put a name to his face in the first place. So while he sits here selling a story about dirt bike parts, the man across the table already knows exactly who he is.
So can you tell me what I didn't tell you the truth about?
No, I'm going to ask you to tell me, because if I tell you and then you start telling me back, then it doesn't look like you're truly, remorseful or want to tell me the truth. I can tell you right off the bat, you're in the wrong car, because I can tell you what car you're in. You're got the wrong amount of people in the car who's with you. And again, you may have got caught up in something, because I don't think for a million years you'd go up to a place intentionally where they know you to do something crazy like this. But unfortunately, you're with the guys who do something crazy. And that's what we're talking about. And it's all on camera. That's just the way it is. And Fat Boy's on his way down here too. So, again, you want to be the one who protects people. I know one thing. You ain't the guy with the gun. I can see a video. But, you got to decide what you're going to do. You got to protect guys with guns who, they got to deal with this their own self, not you.
But I got a question.
Go ahead.
Because, obviously the whole time I've been thinking about it.
I know you have been. It would bother you.
I knew. You said it didn't?
I said, I know it would bother you.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I can tell right off the bat it would bother you.
And
because I look up a man's past a little bit before I come find him.
Like that.
I know. So I know it would bother you.
I knew that I was going to
come to me.
Because when I thought about it, like, I'm in some shit that I went to go get some shit for me.
Okay, well, let's start off by 100% the truth and deal with it.
Okay, so now I got a question before we start this.
Go ahead.
I watch this on TV all the time.
I understand. I was on the 48.
And
I was on the 48.
People tell y'all and they still get it.
Well, here's the situation. You got a warrant, so I can't deal with anything like lying to you, and I'm not gonna. I've been doing this too long. I got the credibility. You're too young to know me, but I got the best credibility. All I can tell you is this. Later on, I'm going to go in front of the state attorney. I'm going to go in front of a judge. I'm going to either say, he told me a story that is believable, or he told me a story that's not believable. Okay? Again, I can look at a video, so I know what's believable. But for me to sit and tell you everything you did, and then you just sit and shake your head and say, yeah, it doesn't have the same weight as you telling me that, this is what happened. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and promise you deals, but I can tell you this, I'm going to stand up and tell the truth, just like I'm asking you to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth when they ask me about you. So if you're really, truly remorseful, then you need to tell me what happened and show that remorse.
The detective is seasoned, and this is exactly what he's banking on. Chucky isn't the muscle of the group. He's the one with 4 kids depending on him and a probation officer watching him. So if anyone in that group is going to break, it's him.
So to be honest with you,
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. Well, look.
I'm sorry for what I'm sorry. Well, not for what I did, but I'm sorry for what I got myself into. I'm sorry that happened to that person, being that who he was or whatever.
Okay, but.
And I mean, I'm already on probation. I'm gonna get time for it, but I can't die in jail. I can't.
Well, you're saying you're going to die in jail. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I can't die for telling. I can't.
Hey, say it again. Are you saying dying or what are you saying?
I can't die in jail for.
Well, no one's saying you can die in jail. What you're charged with is you're involved in an incident. There's all kinds of people involved in incidents. And sometimes,
But you know, even if, you know, when I tell you the story, it's like that paperwork, it follows you when you're in prison. Like, people know that. And
okay. So let me explain something to you. A lot of guys who are in prison understand you got to take care of your own too. And, you know, you worry about, you know, whatever they want to say, being a snitch, whatever you want to be. People got, first off, no, it's not, because it depends on the situation. First off, I'm not trying to say anything crazy like there's people who would say you're doing the right thing who love this guy. And believe me, there's a whole world out there who loves this guy. I never listened to his music, so I don't know. But if you ain't the gunman, I can see your eyes welling up, buddy. You need to understand this. You got a chance to tell the truth, and then you deal with the hopes that the truth is going to be better for you than a lie. But as far as the snitching stuff, I've been doing this 39 years. The prisons understand you got to take care of yourself too. You know. Again, you know, it's like you're not the gunman from the video. So, you know, you can't worry about something like that because this is stupidity. These aren't crazy gang members or anything like this. This is just guys that aren't even good at what they do. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to make your decision. But this is, you know, there's a lot of guys who go to jail that tell the truth, and people understand that. And in this case,
I mean, I don't really care about people understanding it. The judge ain't gonna understand.
Yes, but how do you know that? You don't think the judge is going to show why? Let me ask you a question. When you went up to Reba, did you know what was going to happen?
No.
Okay.
If that's the case, I wouldn't have went in.
Okay, so right off the bat, that's something positive for you.
While he's trying to portray himself as someone who was just roped in, Chucky is actually the reason why this tragedy even occurred. Months before any of this, he and Jesse had sat in the same probation office, and Chucky remembered the rapper's face. So when the black BMW rolled into the lot on June 18th, Chucky knew exactly who it was they were going to rob. But Chucky isn't foolish enough to say all this in a room he knows is wired. So instead of confessing outright, he gets his uncle on the line.
You want to do me a big favor?
What up?
You can call Cause nobody don't know where I'm at, because when I came to the house to let my mama in, and when I was about to let her in, the police had came, like they put out jobs and all that, made her get on the ground and jump. So just let her know where I'm at. But I need you to send me a lawyer. I got some I got some money that I saved up. You could just tell her to let you know, like just tell her let you know what the lawyer gonna charge and all that.
So what you been questioned for? Something during the past or what?
Nah, something I had went. You know I always go get something for my bike, like the ride and jump. I went to go get something for my bikes, and I guess they seen me on camera going there to get something for my bikes, and something happened after that. Alright, call her for me, and get the lawyer for me, please. Alright, love you.
Your nephew's belief is that he wants to tell me the truth, but he wants the lawyer to come down here and sit with him when he tells me the truth about what we're talking about. No, not attempted murder. Unfortunately, he got caught up in with some of his buddies in the thing that happened on Monday with the rapper getting killed. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's what we're talking about.
For now, Chucky has given the investigators a dead alibi about a dirt bike and a mask he can't explain buying. So to understand what actually happened in that parking lot, they bring in somebody who was in the SUV that day. Robert Allen, better known as Big Rob, is the fourth man in the group. Robert would quickly plead guilty to a lighter charge months later, and in return he would testify against the other three and tell investigators everything he knew, which is exactly what fills the holes Chucky left behind when Robert is sat down for his questioning.
Did you see any of the guns when you were at Chucky's house before you guys loaded up to go over to Reva?
Just one. I only seen three.
Okay, and why did you see that? Did he have it out? I mean, how did you see that?
I think he had it out.
Okay, you must say I think, man. Either you know or you don't know.
I'm almost sure. I think he had it out.
Okay, so you guys going into Reva, you're still driving. Chucky says there's XXX. He sees him walking. What happens from there?
I mean, we was already going out anyway, so we still go on about our business. And then Chuck said, I think that it had to be him, because I think that's the same car that he has. And I was like, yeah. And then they tell me to go in. They said, go in and see if that's him.
Okay, who's saying that?
I think Trey said that.
Okay, you go with the I think. You're not sure? I mean, if it is, it is. If you think it is, it is. But you keep, every time you say I think.
Trey talk.
Okay, all right, so Trey said you go in, then who goes in?
Me and Chucky go in.
Okay, and as soon as you go in, obviously we've seen on the video what happens. What do you do once you go in?
I call Boatwright.
Okay, and do you have Boatwright saved in your phone, or do you just know his number off the hat?
I know his number off the I had his number saved.
Yeah, because we never got your phone, if you remember. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so you go in, and what do you tell Boatwright on the phone?
I see. Yeah, that is him. That is him.
Okay. And what do you guys do when you're in the store? You make the phone call to Boatwright. You say it's definitely XXX. You guys go make the purchase.
Yeah, that's it. We won't say nothing else.
And then what do you do?
Go back to the car.
Okay.
We sit in the car for a second. You know, they're talking about it.
What are they saying?
Chuck is telling them to get him, basically.
Do we say to get him to rob him?
Yeah, get him to rob him. And I'm like, man, I don't know about y'all, but I just came. I'm on video, and they're like, that's not a good idea. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. I know I'm on video.
All right. What are they going to rob him for?
I guess it's jury.
I guess, or you know?
Well, it's jury.
Every time you say I think or I guess, man, you know, again, I kind of can tell you, you know exactly what they were going to rob him for. You just don't want to say it. So you got to stop guessing and stop thinking. All right. So what kind of jewelry were they talking about taking from him? Bracelet, necklace, rings?
Yeah. All
of the above or one of the above?
Pretty sure all of them.
Did you see any jewelry on him when you were in the store?
Only seen his necklace.
All right. What would the necklace look like?
Can't remember that.
Okay, thick, thin?
Yeah, it was kind of thick.
Metal, medallion on it? You don't know? Okay. All right, so you guys sitting in that car for about 10 minutes in the parking lot.
I don't know if it's 10
Who else? Well, I'm telling you. Who else was saying anything about getting them other than Chucky?
Trey.
Okay. Did they start to do anything to get ready to get him?
Yeah. Boatwright pulled out a gun.
Okay, and that's which gun is that?
So,
the rifle?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you did getting ready?
Right there. They move. Whenever they move, you know.
Okay, so they moved to the other spots.
Yeah, and then that's when they put on their mask.
Okay, what kind of mask did the Boatwright have? Like
some all black mask.
Okay, but like Chucky's was like what they call neoprene.
I don't know what they call.
Was Boatwright's different from his, or was it like a ski cap, or was it something different looking?
How a ski cap is.
It's like what you wear in your head. You know how everybody wears that rolled up?
Oh no, it was like Chucky's.
So it was a full face mask.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you pulled it out of their spot. What happens from there?
They wait on him.
Okay. And what happens is when they see him?
Chucky cuts him off, and they both get out and run.
Okay. Can you see actually, because the door's open, who fires the shot?
Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah. Boatwright fired the shot.
Okay. How many shots do you think you fired?
Can't tell that.
More than one?
Yeah, it was definitely more than one.
Okay, and could you see what Trey was doing while that was all going on?
I think Trey was grabbing Trey tried to grab his necklace.
Okay.
And he ended up running around the car, going inside the car and grabbing the bag.
Okay, what kind of bag was it?
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, a big one? Small one?
Kind of small.
How much? Okay. All right, and what happens after they get the bag and they shoot him? What do?
They run back into the car and drive off. He drives straight to my house. And Chucky catches an Uber.
Okay. So Chucky catches an Uber. Did you guys look in the bag on the way down from Pompano?
No.
Okay, so who had the bag in their possession when you got to your house?
Trey.
Trey. All right, so Chucky left before anybody went in the bag?
No. He left after everything got dispersed.
Okay, so what was in the bag?
Money.
How much?
50,000.
50,000. What kind of stacks were we in?
10,000.
Okay, they had the bank bands on them?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, what was the split? Everybody get an even split or somebody get more than anybody else?
Of course, I got the less.
What'd you get?
5.
5? What did Chucky get? I gotta take notes or I'll forget this.
It was whatever. I take my 5 out.
So 45, the rest got it?
Yeah.
So was that 15 each? I was never a mathematician. Yeah. Okay.
Robert lays the whole thing out for the detectives in the room. The SUV was actually a Dodge Journey, rented the day before the murder in the name of Chucky's sister, because he didn't have a license of his own and didn't want it to be traced back to him. But a rental booked through an app still leaves a paper trail, one which led the cops straight to Chucky's family and then him. He also reveals that the 50 grand was still in the $10,000 bank straps when they tore open the bag, the same cash Jesse had pulled an hour out earlier for a bike. The group split the 50 grand 4 ways, and Robert's cut was 5 grand. So on the surface, the motive seems simple: money. But these 4 didn't actually wake up that morning planning to hunt Jesse. According to prosecutors, they had set out to rob whoever they came across that day, and they only ended up at Riva because that is where they stopped to buy those masks. Tragically, Jesse just happened to walk in at that exact moment, and Chucky recognized him from the probation office. They saw the bag he was holding, and a random robbery turned into the killing of a 20-year-old over pure coincidence.
Obviously, we saw all the pictures of you flashing the money and stuff like that. Was that your money or their money you were flashing in the pictures?
Some of them.
Okay. All right, as a reference to this, I can't think of... Yeah, well, you can ask him. I'm going to let him ask it. Is that all right?
When you said it was definitely XXX in the car, did you know they were going to rob him? Is that the reason they asked?
When they asked me...
When you went into the store and you came back out and said, that's definitely XXX, do you know what was the reason they wanted to know? Did you know they were going to rob him?
Not at the moment, but once I told him and I seen him like getting ready, basically, then yeah. But it wasn't no plan. That wasn't planned or nothing.
Okay, so after they shoot him and they get back in the car and you guys are driving to Chucky's, tell me the discussion. What's said? I mean, you guys just, not you, but they just shot someone.
It's basically me that's talking.
Okay, what were you saying?
Y'all just got me like a life sentence, probably.
Okay, did Boatwright say anything?
I guess he was in shock, I guess. I don't know.
How about the others? Did they say anything? Anything at all? Tell me any discussion between Riva and Chucky's.
Wait, I'm leaving there?
No, they don't go to Chucky's, they go to his house.
Okay, from Riva to your house. Tell me how far a ride is that?
What is that about?
Riva's like way up Sample almost, and he's down at FP&L down there at the Driftwood.
Okay, so you guys had to talk about something.
It was basically me talking to him. I was just like, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life. And they're like, you'll be all right. It's not going to happen to you. You're all right. Just shut up.
Did they know they had shot him?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not really sure. I don't know if they knew, but I heard a shot.
They had the bag. They had the cash. There was nothing left to take. Nobody needed to fire a single shot. However, according to Robert, Michael had told him that he saw Jesse reaching for his own gun. But from what we know, every account of that parking lot says the rapper never reached for anything at all.
What'd you do with your money?
I tried to buy a car, but it didn't work out.
I know, I saw you trying to buy a used car, but what'd you do with it then? If you couldn't buy a car, what'd you do with it?
They actually took the money from me.
Who did?
First of all, I was buying a car from me.
They stole it from you?
Basically.
Okay, what kind of car were you trying to buy?
Mustang.
What year?
2017.
Was it a dealership or a person who ripped you off?
Person. It wasn't a dealership. Person.
Wow. So you gave him the money as like a down payment and he never gave you the car?
I ain't never given the rest of the money.
What about the other guys? You know what they spent their money on?
Well, Chucky's money. I know he bought a bracelet.
Yeah. What about Boatwright? You know what he did with his money?
He wasn't really spending the money.
That's what I'm saying. Is some of it's got to be hid somewhere. When you all broke it up, what'd you do with the Gucci or the Louis Vuitton bag?
They did something with it. I stayed home until it was.
But they took it with them?
Yeah.
How about all the bands that were on the money? Where did they go?
Took it with them.
All right. But they had no idea what was in that bag until they got the bag out. And the only reason they even knew he was in is they saw him walking into the store on foot. Crazy question, because I know they're going to ask, why didn't you just get out of the damn car while you were sitting in the parking lot? If they get ready to do the...
I mean, I don't know if they're going to shoot me. I mean, they already committed.
Yeah, but they're your buddies, so they're probably going to shoot you. They're just going to let you walk away.
Who knows?
Well, why do you think they gave you $5,000?
They really didn't want to give me nothing.
Huh?
But,
Well, how did it happen? You got it.
Huh?
Did you talk him into it? Or?
No. It just was like, no, we ain't going to check. He was like, we ain't going to give him nothing, bro. He ain't had nothing to do with it. And I was like, I'm going to not get this man involved now. That's what Trey was saying.
And you don't know what happened to the guns, the bag? Who took them?
Trey wanted both. I told him.
Yeah, no, when you walked out, I asked him.
He was here when you told me.
What makes this case even more disturbing is that there wasn't a single thought of panic or regret in these men after the cold-blooded murder they had committed. Instead, they went shopping and posted pictures of themselves flashing the cash. They even bought expensive jewelry, or in Robert's case, a car. And the same night the news broke out that they had killed a famous rapper, Robert says Chucky was dancing around with the money like they hadn't just killed a man over it.
Let's go back to the guns and the hoodies, and forget about Chucky's mask, because you already told me why Chucky bought his mask. Why are these guys carrying around those guns when you all are just driving over to Riva Motors? I mean,
I'm not going to specifically say it was just for, it could have been for something else.
Okay, but what could it have been for? They're going to go to the gun range, they're looking for somebody to rob.
They ain't going to the gun range.
Don't tell me, come on, this is, you can't, don't make me guess.
It was somebody else that they were going to rob.
Who was that? Just anybody?
I don't know.
What kind of guys are they? Just waiting, just carrying their guns with them in case they see somebody good?
I don't know.
Well, they're your friends, not mine.
I know that, but I don't really know. I don't know what kind of guys they look for.
Were they all wearing the hoodies?
No, they didn't have no hoodies.
Okay, but they were wearing hoodies when XXX got robbed.
I'm saying they didn't. You saying the mask?
No, but I'm talking about the hoodies.
Oh, no.
Were they wearing the hoodies when they left your house?
No.
So the hoodies were where?
I guess at Chuck's house.
Okay, so again, when being a 60-year-old white guy, you're loading up with guns and you're loading up with hoodies.
They didn't load. They didn't load up with no guns. I didn't see them put in no guns.
Okay, but they're taking hoodies from Chucky's house.
Only gun I could see was Trayvon.
Okay, but they're getting hoodies, right? It's how many degrees out? 90 degrees plus?
Well, I was supposed to question it. I don't know that.
Well, what do you think they were getting ready to do?
How am I supposed to know? I don't know.
I don't know. You've been living in the streets your whole life, and just like I have. If guys get in the car and got a bunch of hoodies,
it's like you trying to push me to say something that I don't.
I don't want you to push nothing. I want you to explain to the little old lady in the jury who's listening to you, who's going to say, "Hold on." They go over to Chucky's house, and all of a sudden now they're taking hoodies with them. Why are they taking hoodies with them? Were they going to rob somebody?
I mean, they could. I didn't pay attention to that. I know I ain't paying attention.
Are they robbing kind of guys?
I wouldn't say that.
Let me ask you this. When you left Chucky's house, were you specifically headed for Riva?
Yes.
You didn't do any
No.
Surveillance of anybody, all that?
No.
Nothing at all? No discussion whatsoever of any other victims that they may have tried to rob between Chucky's house and Reba?
Or that they were planning on doing and got sidetracked because they saw XXX?
No, I was supposed to go to my girl's house, but I didn't make it to that.
Okay. When they see XXX and you get inside with Chucky and you get on the phone, are they already talking about robbing them then? What are they? What's the purpose for?
He just said, all right.
He just said what?
All right.
Okay, but why did they want you to confirm it was XXX?
Because they thought Chucky was lying.
Oh, okay.
The detective blows through Robert's defenses with evidence he can't deny. Those masks were bought before they ever laid eyes on Jesse, and the guns were already loaded in the car. So what exactly does Robert think they were going to do? Ride around in hoodies in the Florida summer heat with loaded weapons and masks in broad daylight? You don't need to be a genius to do the math.
After they found out in the news that they shot him and killed him, was anybody showing any remorse out of it?
Yeah, Boatwright.
Boatwright was upset?
Not really. He just was like, couldn't believe it.
What about Trey?
Trey just acting, I guess. I don't know.
And you said Chucky didn't care because...
He just, as you can see, he was just acting like it's just another day.
And tell me what Boatwright said when he opens the bag. There's $50,000 in there. What's he say?
He's like, oh shit, oh shit. And then he started dispersing it. And then Chucky like, hold on, he ain't do nothing. And he was like, man, that man was dead.
By the time he's finished, Robert has given the police nearly the entire picture. The rental car, the robbery plan, and the name of the man who looked at Jesse and shot him in the head point blank. Which leaves one person to talk to, the shooter, the one they've been saving for the end. On July 5th, a couple weeks after the murder, police picked up Michael Boatwright, technically on a simple drug charge. Then they put him in front of the same detective who softened up Chucky.
This thing involved a Dodge Journey, which is like an SUV. Do you know what a Dodge Journey looks like? Because I can get a picture of that. It's a blue SUV. And that day when this thing at Reba happened, Chucky, the tattoo man, was in that car. Have you ever been in or around a dark blue Dodge Journey before?
No.
No? Have you ever been around Chucky recently?
No.
Okay. Like I said, if I brought pictures, it'd be easier to explain.
I'm seeing doing like...
Okay, well, I'm asking you about things that your name's getting brought up into.
But I don't know nothing about that, so...
Okay, well, you already said you weren't at Reba, so I'm trying to figure out why Chucky would put your name into it.
I don't know.
When was the last... You saw him years ago. Did you have a beef with him? You paid for all your tattoos? I mean, did he have a beef with you about something? Or he'd throw your name out just to throw me off and put your name into it? That's not a tough question, though. Do you have problems with Chucky?
Michael is a 22-year-old high school dropout with multiple drug arrests and ties to a local gang called ZMF, so this is already not looking good for him. He's also the one who stepped back from a finished robbery and killed someone for no reason at all.
Chucky's got a big fat friend named Fat Rob or Big Rob, or his mama lives right down here on 17 Court. When again, if I had the pictures, you let me bring the pictures, and I ask you, do you know Big Fat Rob at all? No? Like I said, I wish you let me bring the pictures in so I make sure you know who these guys are who are bringing your name up. But you don't know Fat Rob, whose mama lives right over here? No, these guys are all, every name I mentioned other than Chucky. You don't know. All right, well, it's like I said, I'm just trying to solve the mystery.
What Michael doesn't seem to understand is they don't actually need a confession from him, so staying silent is a moot point. His accomplices have already given up his name as the shooter. Plus, cops have found his fingerprints inside that Dodge Journey, and on top of that, he was caught on CCTV climbing in and out of it. Even more damningly, his phone connected to the store's Wi-Fi while he sat in the parking lot, waiting for Jesse to come out. And he's listening to all of this, but he just can't be bothered to care. So the detective quits asking questions he already knows the answers to and starts laying out the evidence on the table instead.
You sure you don't want me to bring these pictures in so we make sure you don't know who I'm talking about? I mean, I want to bring a picture of the fat guy in.
I seen him on the news too.
Oh, you saw him on the news too? And you never seen him before in your life? No? They call him, his name's Robert Allen, but they call him, Chucky calls him Shatta, which is Jamaican for hitman, I guess, which I don't know how he's a hitman because he looks like he hit the buffet. He don't look like he kind of a little round to be a hitman. So, all right, so you don't know him, you know Chucky. And how long has it been since you think you saw Chucky? Years, months? Okay. All right. I guess they brought those girls down that you're with too. So was one of them you're like, are they just friend girls or one of them your real girlfriend?
Friend girl. My girl.
Got no babies or nothing with her? Which one's your actual girlfriend?
The driver.
The driver? All right. Now this car that I'm asking about though, you haven't even seen one like that?
What?
The Dodge Journey, where you've been around it or in it or anything like that? So again, why do you think Chucky, this is your copy of the warrant, why do you think Chucky would put your name into it? You know Chucky's girlfriend? The girl with all the tattoos? She don't know you though? Okay. All right, you can have that. And I get to tell you kind of a little bit of problems you're going to have, just so you understand. I'm not trying to make you mad because, again, these guys brought up your name and your fingerprints are on the Dodge Journey. So, if you ever get to the stage when you want to actually start telling what really happened, if it was for real or an accident or what happened, and you want to put your side out rather than just letting these guys' side come out, as a guy who's much older than you, fatherly advice, you probably should tell the truth, especially since no matter what you think about the streets, when people are sitting here, they want to get themselves out of things, and they want to get out of it by throwing up everybody else's names. You know what I'm saying? So, they're throwing your name up, so maybe you should tell me what happened that day so I know whether they're telling the whole truth or not. But you're not telling the whole truth because your fingerprints are all over the truck. And I got video of you inside the driftwood because there's cameras all over the place getting into the truck. And I can bring those in here to let you look at them too, because I don't mean you no harm. But again, I'm trying to convince you, these guys have already sat in here and told this story. So, again, you don't look like no stone cold shot the killer yourself, but you was up there with him. And I'm going to tell you, the truth about everything I'm telling you, and I'll bring you in pictures to show it to you. So, there's no lying in my game. So I know you're scared. I know you're young, and I know what happened up there probably wasn't the plan. Just a bunch of guys that ain't very good at what they're doing. All right, you want me to go get pictures of the driftwood? Were you getting into the car? I'll bring it to you. I just want you to understand this, man, because once me and you are done, I don't want you ever be able to come back and say, Mongo, I should have told you the truth. I was scared, and now I'm because I didn't want to tell you the truth, because, this is the kind of thing that remorse kind of is everything. If you feel, I know, if you feel bad about what happened because it wasn't supposed to happen, then that's called remorse. If you don't feel remorse, then you're like a stone cold killer. And the sad thing about this is I can watch a video and I can see what happened. I can see who's getting in the car at the driftwood. I can see you guys backing the car up. I can see you getting out. I can see you walking over to Robert Allen's mama's house because the cameras capture everything, including the car wreck. When you guys wrecked the car afterwards. And everybody ran out of the car, And the only reason I even know about that is because Chucky told us about it.
So, you want to tell the truth or not? You're young, man. You need to tell the truth. You need to tell me what happened. So, who first came up to you in the car, in the Dodge Journey? Who drove up to you and picked you up? Come on, man. You want to tell the truth. You don't want to get caught up in something like this where you have no remorse. You know? They have no choice. They walked in right to the store, right on the video, went right into the store up to the counter. So you know when they come down here, they're going to tell the truth. So I'm asking you, who came pick you up and where did they pick you up at? You don't want to tell me? All right. Want me to go get the picture? Or just tell me. So I know you're done. Does that mean you're done? Then say it.
Done. I don't know what to talk about.
All right, well, like I said, that's fine. I'm just like laying it all out to you. You asked me to tell you what it's all about. I told you what it's all about.
I tell you I don't got nothing to do with it.
I know, and I'm just telling you what the facts are. Your fingerprints are on the Dodge Journey.
Alright.
You're on video getting out of the Dodge Journey, getting into the Dodge Journey.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go get the pictures and prove it to you?
Take your word.
Take my word? Because you know it's true, or you just don't care. Well, let me go get the pictures. I'll go get the pictures.
Instead of talking about pictures.
Well, it's the pictures of you getting into the Dodge Journey. That's a pretty simple thing. Once you get into the Dodge Journey, then it gets a little harder, because then you got to explain what happened. Okay, I'm going to go get pictures of the Dodge Journey, and I'll be right back. Again, I ask you want a water or not? No?
You said I was here for...
You're under arrest for whatever else you had, drug-wise. You're here for a homicide DNA search warrant, fingerprints, and photographs. And now you ask me to tell you what the homicide's about.
I don't care about what the homicide about. I want to get done what I'm here for.
Okay. Well, you want to be taken to the county jail? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. No problem. You know what happens when your phone gets in that parking lot at Riva Motorsport? Picks up the router. You know that? Okay. I'll be back. Take you down.
Then there is the matter of his search history too. At some point after the murder, Michael had typed two things into his phone: XXXTentacion and accessory to murder. According to Robert's testimony, Michael searched it because he was reassuring him that since Robert wasn't the shooter, the worst charge he would get was being an accessory to murder. And that's literally as damning as it gets.
There's you and Trey walking over to Fat Boy's mom's house. So, anyways, he's finished your paperwork up. As soon as he's done, if you're ready, he'll take you. All right? You done looking at those? Yeah? You done looking at those?
What am I looking at?
There's you, and there's you. Huh?
Who knows this?
That's you. You can't tell? That's not you? Oh, okay. You know who that is? Trey? You don't know a guy named Trey? Boy, you don't know nobody. Funny thing, I think that one thing is right there, that lighter hanging out of your pocket, is even what they got out of the car when they got you out of the car.
But the surveillance footage isn't the only thing that destroys Michael's defense in the end. When the crime lab tested the mask Jesse's shooter wore, they found Michael's DNA on it. However, through every bit of evidence, Michael never explains himself. In the end, they cuff him and walk him out because the man who turned a robbery into a murder gave them nothing but careless shrugs. It took almost 5 years to get all 4 of them in front of a jury, and the defense did everything they could. Michael's lawyer argued that he had been fast asleep at home. Trayvon's lawyer even brought up an old post where Jesse said that if he ever got killed, it'd be Drake. But none of it actually mattered to the prosecutors, because Robert told the jury the same story he'd told in that interrogation room, effectively snitching on his co-defendants. And since the men sat casually through their own trial like it meant nothing to them that a life was lost, Judge Michael Usan had a few words for them that would stay with them for the rest of their miserable lives.
This court is shocked by your behavior after the murder. A person who had any measure of human decency or remorse for killing someone would not likely be seen dancing around and filming themselves with the stolen money. How proud you were of yourself. You should understand that while you were dancing on that bed, throwing down those bills, you weren't throwing money down on the floor. You should think of that as you tossing down days, weeks, and months of your life, just like that. Like so many pieces of paper. The very next day, when you went to spend that blood money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you placed on the human life that was taken. You turned a robbery into a murder. And on that day, when you stood there and fired that weapon, you didn't just end one life. You effectively ended 5 lives, including your own. Like I just said, you need to understand that when we say life in Florida State Prison, that means life. You'll spend every hour and every day and every week and every year of your life in that cell. And one day, they'll come and open up that cell in the morning and you'll have passed on. And only on that day will you have served your sentence.
In August 2022, Robert Allen pleaded guilty to armed robbery and the lesser charge of second-degree murder in exchange for his testimony against the others. The rest of the group went to trial. In March 2023, all 3 were found guilty of first-degree murder and armed robbery. A few weeks later, in April, the sentences were handed down. Trayvon and Dedrick both received life in prison without the possibility of parole. Michael received 2 consecutive life sentences, plus an additional 30 years for good measure. Robert Allen's deal resulted in a much lighter outcome. In May 2023, he was sentenced to 7 years with credit for time served, followed by 20 years of probation. He was later released in October of that year.